truly an honor to be here for this occasion. And you know, I'm invited to speak at a lot of events, as is Chairman Bounds, regarding honoring our military and veterans, and I love these events, but they are the most difficult. How do you find words to adequately honor someone who serves our country, number one, and then someone who has made the ultimate sacrifice? I have yet to be able to find that out. So I'm going to do my best today to convey to you how much I appreciate the Bounds family and the sacrifice of Carson Bounds. And I guess the way in which we have found to try to do this, it may be a feeble attempt, was to name this highway after him. We thought that would be very fitting, and so it's been an honor to be just a very small part of this. My role today is to talk to you about what happened in the legislature and how we got this bill to pass. Now, this bill was not a substantive change in law per se. It was a highway naming bill. We still had to go through the same process. And there are many of you here today that are very familiar with that. Committee approval in both chambers, floor debate in each chamber, signature by the governor. But there are many avenues in between that the wheels can just fall off, very honestly. And I know Commissioner Hall, Chairman Bounds, they both know very well that unless you're watching your bill every day that's down there, something could happen to it. So I stayed on top of this. This was very important to me to see this happen for the community. So it's been an honor. When it was first placed on the agenda for the Transportation Committee in the Senate, I knew it would be several weeks before he brought that up for hearing. And so Willie Simmons is our chairman over there. And to say that I pestered him daily about this bill, I did. I went and I saw him numerous times and I said, Chairman, you have to help me with this bill. This is so important to my community. And so the day came that it was brought up in committee, and I was there. I'm not on that particular committee, but I attended to present the bill. And he asked me, he said, Senator Branning, why does this part of Neshoba County, this segment of Highway 16 need to be named in honor of Carson Bounds? And let me digress just a moment and tell you, and I see some of my supervisor friends and my judge friends there that have been to see us at the Capitol. We're working. During session, when any business is brought before the legislature, I think the word to describe it could be utter chaos. Sometimes when we're on the floor debating. It's noisy, people are talking, even though someone is well presenting a bill, it may look as if no one is listening. And people have asked me before, how do you get anything done? How do you know what's going on? It's just a lot of moving parts. But back to the committee meeting, my response to the chairman was the biography that I read on Carson Bounds, the information that you have just heard, his sacrifice, the way things happened, how he lost his life fighting for me and fighting for all of you and your families. And you could all of a sudden hear a pin drop in that room. All of a sudden, everyone became still, and everyone was paying attention. And at that moment in time, there were not Republicans and Democrats in that room. There were not people there with agendas. And that room was full of people. They were full of people. It was such an awe and a reverence that came over the crowd. The expressions on the faces of the committee members was something that I will never forget. And of course, we passed the bill. And in fact, I believe I saw a few of my Senate colleagues tear up when I went through all of the details of why we want to honor Carson Bounds. And it was such a wonderful time. The same thing happened when we brought the bill to the Senate floor. It was utter chaos that day. We were handling all manner of measures on the floor, not just highway naming bills. We had a lot of different things coming up. But when this bill came up, we again began to hear the biography and the information of why we need to honor Carson Bounds. You can hear a pin drop. And that's saying a lot in the Senate, to get everyone to sit down and be quiet and pay attention. But again, at that moment, we were all just Americans, no agenda. We for a moment forgot all of our differences and why we were there fighting for different causes. We were unified. It was just that feeling. Those words weren't spoken, but you could just sort of feel it in the atmosphere. And so it made it through both chambers. The bill made it to the desk of the governor without hesitation. Governor Phil Bryant signed the bill, and he was very glad to do so. So here we are. In our community in Neshoba County, from Bobby's Country Store roughly to Ford Store, we have a section of highway now named in honor of Carson Bounds, and I'm so proud. So as this community, as you make your way down this busy stretch of highway daily, some of you are on this road daily. I'm here pretty frequently. I have family in this area. When you pass this marker, don't let it pass by you. Always remember, take a moment to pause and reflect. Even though those of us, even in this very room, have differences of opinion on a wide variety of things, from politics to religion to some things in between, never forget the common denominator that brings us together, and that we are all Americans. We're blessed Americans. We are blessed Americans because of the sacrifice of Parson Bounds and so many others just like him. And I am so thrilled and humbled and proud to have been a very small part of this event. God bless the Bounds family and each one of you in our great nation. Thank you.